Dude, I am tired.
That was my first question. How much sleep are you getting?
Yo, I have to be very conscious of it because of, the health issues I have, like the high blood pressure and all that shit. So like
Yeah,
if I get too sleep deprived, that can affect it a lot too. But
seriously, you gotta make sure you're drinking water. You on a
mhm.
multivitamin?
No, I have one. I haven't taken it yet. I should
Get on
start
a
taking it
multivitamin,
tomorrow.
sir.
I probably should start taking it. But on average, I think we get like 3, 4 hours.
Man,
And like during the day though, like we try to take nap. I mean, we like today was actually a pretty good day because I took a nap for like 2 hours. And then she took a nap for like an hour.
are you guys like sleeping at separate times, like taking shifts? Like you go sleep and then I'll go sleep.
We started doing that a little bit like today and yesterday. Um, but it's like so like during the day, like because she had like a C-section, I'm doing most of like,
Heavy
most of
lifting.
the heavy
Yeah, moving
lifting and the chores and
around
stuff. So like helping
as you
her out.
should,
So
as you should.
so she's usually up with him at night. And like but the thing is though, like I'll help her, get him out of the bassinet. I help
Yeah,
her get in the
yeah.
bed and stuff like that. If she needs me to pick up something, like I'll get up and do it. You know what I mean?
You
Because
got to. You got
I wake
to.
up pretty quick, but like, usually I can get at least 30, 45 minutes before he starts crying again. You know what I mean? Like,
And you back on.
mm-hmm.
What's the recovery time for the C-section? Did they say?
They said like 6 weeks. Um,
Okay.
but they said that she was doing a little bit like better than most people because even the next day
Okay.
afterwards, she was already walking. She was in pain though, and she had like a catheter in, but like
Damn.
she was walking, but it was very uncomfortable in the hospital. The beds ain't comfortable at all. You
I
know what I'm
feel like
saying?
they make them that way to get you up out of there. They're like, yo, we did what we need to do. You stable,
And we
kick
got up out of
rocks.
there, and we got the fuck up
Yeah.
out of there. Like, cause
It's
they
like
said
a
like,
hotel checkout time. Like you
mm-hmm,
had your baby, checkouts at 3,
mm-hmm.
pack your bags.
Exactly. Like they give you 4 days, but we only stayed for three because at that point I was like, I'd rather be home
Yeah.
and you're
Getting
comfortable in your
settled.
own bed. Like, I got
Yeah.
the gaming chair, which is a lot more comfortable than the chairs they were using in the room over there and
Sheesh.
stuff like that.
Had you
So
sitting at a 90-degree angle and shit in there, but
the cool part was like, their shower was like all standing shower. So it didn't have like a tub feature. So
mhm.
when she came home, she had to deal with like, lifting her legs up. But, she took her time with it. She got through it and stuff like that.
Listen,
So,
first one's a charm. I mean, you knocked it
mhm.
down, you know what to expect. Everybody's healthy. That is the best part of the whole scenario. But, you made it through. Ain't nobody faint. You ain't pass out in there.
Nah, because I was in there with her during the C-section and stuff,
Yeah.
but they put like a
Divider.
tarp between
Yeah.
her and like
Mhm.
where they're doing it from. But like as soon as he came out, like he made some noise, he started crying,
Mhm.
stuff like
Mhm.
that. And they was
Oh
I let
man.
them do their thing, like clean them up or whatever.
That's
And then
gorgeous.
I walked over there and I looked at him and I saw my boy and I was just like, oh shit,
Oh
you know what I
man.
mean?
With that being said, we are back again, episode 2 officially. I hate it here.
Is it two?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it
episode
is
two.
two. Yeah, it is
I
two.
didn't really
Yeah,
count the pilot. I feel like that was a warm up, but
yeah,
we'll go
yeah.
episode 2. We are talking. My man Kev over here is a first time father.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal, big milestone, major things. We would press
Mm-hmm.
an applause button right now if we had one. We could probably
Yeah,
add one sometime down the line, but
we should definitely look into that.
let's just start there with the future. You are birthing the future. How does that feel? How does it feel to have a boy, first of all? Like, do you think you would have felt different if you would have had a girl or if you would have had a boy or having a boy now?
I think going into the whole process, I didn't really care whether it was a boy or a girl. I mean, that's why
Mm.
we chose the name we chose because
You want to
it
say
could
the
work for
name or you
both.
still want to
Nah,
be
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep
right,
it
right? I
close.
feel you. I feel that's why
Um,
I I sent you that little write up. I was like, am I saying too much? Like, what should I
Yeah,
say? I know you want to move incognito and keep it close to
yeah,
home, so I respect
yeah.
that.
Nah, I
But
appreciate that. Appreciate that. But nah, so we chose a name that could work for both. You
mhm.
know what I mean? So once that was established, it didn't really matter. But finding out it was a boy though, I was just like, all right, that's good. You know what I mean? I
That
was
extra
super
pat on
happy.
the back. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
it's like, all right.
because the crazy thing is like, my dad passed away in like March.
Oh man, rest in peace.
So thank you. So like from COVID and shit like that. And I found out I
Shit
was
is
having
real,
a boy.
people. Time out,
What?
time out. I just want to say shit is real, people. Like
Mhm.
shit is real. So much bullshit. I just keep hearing
Hold on.
bullshit
Wait.
everywhere.
I made a formula in there already.
But it's real. It's real. Whether you want to deny it or not, whether you get the vaccine or not, at least understand shit is real. My
Yep.
landlord's mom passed away from it. She was messed up. Like
Yep.
it's gonna get realer if you don't think it's real. And then when it
And
hits
it
close
doesn't
to
matter
home,
how far removed you are from that person. Like, it
right,
doesn't matter if you
right.
haven't seen them in years. Because me and my pops ain't talked for like 16 years. You know what I'm saying? And we started
Wow.
talking now as I was getting older and
Wow.
stuff like that. But like,
Yeah.
um, to have him pass away without even to kind of like
See through
work
this
things out
process.
from a disease like this, like it puts everything in perspective. Because everybody can be worried about a vaccine and all this stuff, but like
Trust
when
me,
it
they
hits
are.
home, like you
Mm-hmm.
have to do more due diligence to understand what's going on to make the right decision.
Shit is real. Just protect yourself, protect your family. That's just bottom line. But
Mm-hmm.
just speaking of the future, you gotta how do you manage that? Like this is a whole new world, and you are a new parent in a whole new world. Gonna have to deal with school and all kind of bullshit. Everyone is gonna be telling you this to do with your kid. Like, how are you? Are you ready to manage that? Like,
So when it comes to like managing people telling me like what to do and how to do it,
nah,
um,
a lot of
I
parenting
spent
styles out there.
I spent my life being a people pleaser and just, trying to like make people happy by, just following their directions, whether or not I liked it or not. And I
Hmm.
got to a point in my life, like I can't do that anymore because like you're sacrificing not only your own character and integrity, but also those that you care about at the same time. So like,
Absolutely.
but
You do
I've been
yourself a disservice when you aren't honest with yourself, at least about that.
exactly. So like, I've just been luckily, I've been able to like, stand my ground for the most part in these first few days about a lot of things. And the people that that's in my life, they're working with the plan, and it's like
Yeah.
sometimes you can make a compromise with certain things. And if you should be able to have a conversation and be like, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not going to do that because but you can't do that without having
A little.
research and reasoning behind it, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So I always try to have when I say whenever I combat the ideas, I have examples, I
Hmm.
have facts, I have this, that, and the third, so that they know that it's not a personal vendetta. It's just that I'm
Hmm.
trying to do this, the
In your
right
own
way.
way.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
trying to mitigate all types of risk. And
Speaking of research, how
mhm.
much like are you reading did you read the baby books, like what to expect when you're expecting and like father to be kind of stuff? Like where are you getting your information?
So I read like three articles like a month before he was
Mm.
born, and then to be honest with you, I haven't read any of the baby books. She's
And you
read
don't
all
wing
of the
it.
baby stuff,
Put that
because
on her.
she's also in early education too and stuff like that. So like she
Oh,
knows.
nice.
So she's been studying that stuff for like years, and that's what she went to school for as well. So like,
Hmm. She
I
gets to
mean,
apply a lot of that.
yeah, and it helps me out because I can be kind of the more laid back person, but
Hmm.
like I guess more of my responsibility is making sure that like we got a bottle warmer. I make sure that's up and running. We got a whole bunch of stuff for the baby that like, I'm making sure that they're built correctly, that they're sturdy, that if we're gonna put our baby in, that works.
For
I think
real.
having somebody who You have to know what your role is. It doesn't mean that I don't understand things, but it's cool because like if I don't know something, like she'll explain it to me, and I'm like, okay, cool, and then I can move accordingly to what I was thinking about doing in the first place. So being able to
It's a
bounce
beautiful
off
thing.
things like that, you know, and just making sure that I just do my role the best that I can, and it's still a team effort at the end of the day. So you know, no one's really doing it alone.
That's some grown man shit right there. Proud of you, man.
I appreciate that,
Fucking
man.
proud of you. Grown man shit.
It ain't
You hear
easy
that,
though.
people? And sometimes the moral of the story is just know your fucking role. Know
That's
your
it.
fucking role. Everybody ain't gotta be the captain of the team.
Mm-mm.
Everybody don't have to have the ball at the same time.
Nah, because the minute that you sit there and you start trying to do like this tit for tat thing, like the person that suffers is the kid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, and this day and age, people don't think about this enough when they're like laying down with people and like they having these kids out of wedlock, and then like they end up hating like the baby mother or the baby father, and they have all this drama
We
and all
see
this other
that's a
extra shit.
classic
It's like
story.
if you knew who you was laying with, and if you ask yourself, can this person be a partner in raising another human being? Like
Right.
people wouldn't be dealing with the people that they deal with.
You know, and that's a simple question, but I understand in those heated, passionate moments,
Oh,
no
you
one
can't
asks
stop
that
it.
question.
Yeah, no, you can't
That's
stop it.
the last question people ask it,
But the
but
thing is, though, you can't run away from the responsibility
that's
of
what
the
I was gonna
consequence.
say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Because to keep it 100, you know, I sent a tweet out to my cousin as well. Like, as a dude who I didn't have my dad growing up, like,
Mm-hmm.
and
Me neither.
I understand now getting older how impactful that is. So when I see my homies like yourself, even my little brother who has two kids, and then
Mm-hmm.
my cousin who has a daughter, like you guys are all still there maintaining and showing that representation of being a black dad, like in the house still.
Mm-hmm.
Like that shit, bro, that shit is major. Like that shit warms my heart for
I,
real.
I mean, dog, to be honest with you, I knew I wanted to be a dad since I was a kid. It's like, you know how they be like, you know, women are always
Mm.
thinking about their wedding day and
Right,
how
right.
it's going to
Since they're
look like.
born.
Like, my whole
Right.
thing was like, you know, how am I going to be a dad? You know, especially, you know, after my dad, you know, left, you know, when I was, you know, kind of in my
For
teens and
real.
stuff like that. It's like, I know how hard my life was because he wasn't there
Absolutely.
at the most pivotal point.
Absolutely. I see those differences of like, even if you are ain't shit dad, you still there to
It makes a big
be
difference.
impact in what's going on. But
Mm-hmm.
that absence is a huge thing. So like just being around, just sticking around. If you're not with the moms, it don't matter. If you got a whole bunch of issues and you work a dead end job, like you are still present in their
Yeah.
life. And
All
that
you
is
have to do is be there.
that's a crazy thing, like that your energy just existing in their growth is impact. So
Yeah.
shout out to all the dads out there.
Yeah, man. And to all the dads out there, I mean, like, it's not easy. And I know, like, you know, like sometimes you get like the only time you get to yourself is 20 minutes in the shower. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's what you're gonna have to do because you're gonna have to like put your armor on and just be like, you know, roll
For
with the
real, go fight
punches.
that fight, man.
Then when you
Go
get
fight
in
that
your
fight.
bed and you get your 2 hours of sleep, you just enjoy it. And you
Oh
know,
man, that is a tough battle. I'm
like
sure it
today.
gets easier. I'm sure it gets easier. Your skin gets thicker. But I just want to say, for me, I fought the idea of having a kid for a long time, especially
Mm-hmm,
as I was younger. Like anybody who knew me that talked to me about kids, I was like, nah, get out of here, never, get out of here.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But again, as I grow and I realize like there's certain milestone, and I'm not saying that they apply to everybody, but there's certain milestones in life that you know that you're growing and you could feel that you're growing when you've hit these milestones and you're still able to maintain and adapt.
Yep.
And I feel like having a kid is one of those things. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely
And it's
on
not for
board.
everybody. And I think like people are afraid to let people have their choice.
Yeah,
Like if you want to be a parent, be a parent.
clearly.
If you don't, don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like if you don't want to be a parent and you put yourself in the situation where it happens, you gotta grow up.
You got to be a parent. Yeah, you forfeit your choice at that point. If you play in the game, when you get filed, you can't be upset that you got filed because you
Hmm.
played in the game, like,
Exactly.
but then if you score, you're happy you score, but then you don't like getting filed. You can't take one without the other.
No, you can't. Like it's all included in the game, and like but you just have to know the rules at the end of the day and just do the best that you can.
For real, man. Again, proud of you, proud of all the dads.
No, I appreciate it, man. I
Get more than
appreciate it.
20 minutes, man. Get more than 20 minutes. We deserve that. Y'all deserve
No,
that.
I mean today was the first day I actually got to sit and like play some video games for like at least 2 hours because he
Nice.
was knocked. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And like even then, like I
Yeah,
held him
life
on my
goes on.
chest and we would watch what did we watch? We watched Toy Story and The Lion King today. I mean, he don't know what's going on. But
I mean, you gotta put him on early. Put him on early. So when he grow up, he know those sounds like, oh, I heard that when I
exactly.
was little. So
Exactly. He just laying on my chest, he falling asleep and stuff like that.
oh
And like
man.
but and you kind of have to feel the same way like even when he's crying like you have to like kind of tuck all of those feelings in of like frustration because it's not your fault. And I kind of struggle
Yeah.
with that like a little bit because I was like, yo, why is he doing this?
Hmm.
And then like, if you get in your head
Gotta
too much, you
figure it
got to
out.
realize like he's just a baby. They're just a baby. They
Yeah.
don't know. They're just going off their survival instincts at this point, and you just have to, eliminate the what the reasoning behind why they're doing what they're
Right.
doing, and then once you find it, you just adjust.
A human puzzle, and then you gotta solve it. There
Mm-hmm.
was a comedian that had a joke about babies. It's like when they're newborns, like for your baby, a couple days ago, he was inside his mom getting fed through a tube, surrounded in liquid. Now he's in the world. He has to inhale and exhale every
It's a lot.
second, or it's like, yo, what's up with this? Like,
No, it's a lot.
can I go back inside with the tube and
Yeah.
get
And the
it's like
crazy part is it's as simple as like we have blankets that were given to us by the hospital. Like we went in there with like a whole diaper bag full of clothes and stuff was already.
right, ready to
But
go.
they had the hospital blankets that they were like, swaddle him in or whatever. And then like the last few days, like he's been crying a lot because we've been using the ones that we bought. So
Hmm.
like last night we decided to switch to the ones that the hospital gave us, and like it changed everything because
Nah.
that's what he's comfortable with. That's what he know what it feels like.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes, you might have all the stuff in the world, but those first few days, whatever he knows is a comfort to him, like you
That's
gotta
it.
keep those things and implement those things until he can understand and know better as he grows up.
Yeah, man, it's tough. Just growing and planning for the future and
Mm-hmm.
figuring out the future. Like, what are your plans? Like, do you want him to go to like college, or what if he joins the army? Or like, now you got to go through all of these thoughts, and like, you have to process your emotions for a whole nother person's future. Like, how
Bro,
do you
like,
plan for the future of another person?
well, the thing is, like, I'm a different type of individual, right? So, like, there'd be a lot of times where I'd be sitting there smoking weed in the crib, and like,
Yeah, like what if he's a smoker? Like you don't know. It's
eh,
so many.
so many things. And I sat there,
Yeah,
I'd be like high as hell, and I'd be just sitting there thinking, and I'd be thinking about even before I met her, like, I used to think about, like, what if my kid this, that, and the third? And I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, you just have to love them, and you just have to be there for them, and you just have to be able to give them the information that they need to make the best decision that they can.
right,
Because you have to look at your own life and be like, yo, I made a lot of dumbass mistakes. There's a lot of
right.
mistakes I made in my 20s that my mom used to like
That
get on me for. And like they accumulated to a certain point and like I had to pay certain consequences. Like, damn. But at least, she was there to tell me, what I'm saying? And I think, when you have your own kids, you kind of have to look at them and be like, you know what, like I can do the best I can up to when you're 18. At 18, and I let you get out there, I have to hope that all the teachings, all the morals, everything I gave you
for
made an
real,
impression enough that you can not only, you know, um, keep the same moral code that I instilled in you, but also be your own individual and
right,
make and
and
just
push forward
and push forward. And
and be
even if you make
successful.
mistakes, it's like I'm always going to be there.
My
You know what I'm
question
saying?
now is, And I only asked this to be devil's advocate, and
Mm-hmm.
because this wild story, I went down this rabbit hole today. Like, as
Mm-hmm.
a parent, where do you draw the line of like your unconditional love for your own child? And I know that sounds wild, sketchy, and but all right. So in Florida, 2 days ago, a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old, there's articles. I'm gonna send you the link. We can post this up. They were
Mm-hmm.
planning to do a whole school shooting, like they had a whole map with indicators of the cameras, and
Mm-hmm.
they had guns, and they were planning to build bombs. This was crazy. They stopped them, but as one of the moms came out and said, this is not like my son and all this and all that. And then they went into his room and he had nothing but posters of like, you know, uh what do they call them? Targets and like
Mm-hmm.
different kinds of guns and stuff. So it's like, where as a parent do you draw the line and just be like, all right, my son is beyond anything I could have done, like
I think the line comes when they enter a phase where they try to inflict harm on other people
yeah,
and they are conscious of it. Like, a lot of times I think as parents we always want to look at our children as if they're the same little
in the
person
best light.
that we brought
Yeah,
up, and we always want to put them in the light. But the thing is though, love is a double-edged sword. Like, you have to care for that kid, you have to
that's
be there
deep.
for that kid, but you also got to be their harshest critics when they do the things they're not supposed to be doing.
That's deep. And you see it all the time because my sister was a teacher at one point, and I just could imagine the parents who she would have to tell them, like, hey, your child isn't doing X, Y, and Z. And then the parents, they want to say, oh, it's because maybe you're teaching or maybe some other thing. And it's hard to be self aware for your own child sometimes. I don't know.
Well,
Just
yeah,
asking
because
as a parent, how do parents adjust to that?
parents got to put away their pride. That's all that is at the end of the day. It's like they're so prideful. It's like, my kid can't be doing that, because if their kid
Right.
is acting up, that's a reflection of their own parenting.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, where do they draw the line and say, okay, that's not my parenting. That's just that kid. Like, even though that's my kid, that's just that kid. Because these are 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds planning
Mm-hmm.
to hurt a whole school. And one of the kids was telling them, like, oh, don't come to school this day. So they were like proud of it. It was such a weird article. I'm gonna send it to you. The way they described how they planned it and were happy about doing this, and then the parents wanted to come out and say, my kid is just confused and yada yada. But it's like, okay,
I mean, kids
that's
can be
another level now.
kids can be influenced, but at the same time, like, there could be so many factors within the parents and the kids relationship. Like, parents these days, they always champion this whole thing of being your kid's friend. It's like that can happen to a certain extent, but it's a deeper issue, because like when you think about your friends, like, do your friends really hold you accountable for all the things that you do? And if they don't, are they really your friends? So like,
Very
if you're trying to
true.
be a
Very
parent
true.
and you're trying to be a friend, a true friend will tell you when you're wrong, and they will keep an eye on you so you don't fuck up your own life. If they
Right.
can't do that for you, that ain't your friend.
I mean, that takes some self-awareness though. A lot of people don't
But we
have
don't teach
that's a
self-awareness in this
Very
society.
true. That's
We
a
don't.
deep level of self awareness that you have to have. That even if people in your circle tell you that you're messing up, you
Mm-hmm.
can accept and trust their opinion enough of your own actions. Like,
Mm-hmm.
to say that something that I did myself, even though you're telling me that it was wrong, I'll take that into consideration of the future. That's a
Mm-hmm. It's a
that's a
huge
hard
step.
thing to do. And a lot of
Like,
people just have people around them that either are just like them, so they make all the same types of choices, or do the same types of actions, so that when things do go awry, they just, what do they call it? Enable it. They just
yeah.
enable it, or you know,
And it's hard to separate yourself, because as humans, we're social creatures, and we like being in groups. We don't like being alone. And it's like, if you had to choose being alone and doing the right thing or being with a group and doing the stupid shit, like 8 times out of 10, you're going to be in the group doing the stupid
Hey,
shit.
I think that goes with our age too. A lot of times we just are like, you know what?
Oh yeah, early
I
20s,
might
man. Like
just,
we're horrible
yeah.
people. We're
It's like I
horrible
might have
people.
to check out some of this stupid shit over here that they
Nah,
doing. It looks fun.
no, and that's the whole point of growing up is. But the thing is, you have to choose at some point. You have to choose when it's time,
Yeah.
and then
You
you
have to
can't
make
run
choice.
away. You can't run away from the responsibility of it, and you can't just sit here and say, "Well, that's just the way I am." That's not going to
Facts.
work.
Facts. No, absolutely. Life is choice, and the choices you make come with repercussions and consequences and rewards and
Mm-hmm.
awards.
Mm-hmm.
So just make those choices, man.
Mm-hmm.
Make those choices. Every day is a choice, and you just live by that.
One
And
hundred percent. One hundred
a lot
percent.
of people don't understand that, and that can be a sucky thing, and that's kind of why I hate it here. But I kind of enjoy here sometimes, just watching the future kind of flourish. All the little children in my life that I've seen and are just now being born. It's like, wow, they'll see the world way further than I ever will. So
Yeah.
just try to have a little hope in the future, even though
Shit is fucked
shit be
up.
bullshit. I know. Shit really be bullshit. But speaking of bullshit, just
What's
kind
up?
of flushing out the bullshit mentally. Well, I guess it's not bullshit, but finally getting through all of it, it felt like I watched 4 or 5 movies in total between CLB, Certified Lover Boy, and Donda now, the 2 longest albums I probably ever listened to in my life.
Dude, I'm so mad at I'm so annoyed with this 20 plus song format.
I hope this is not a thing. I hope this is not a steady
When
thing.
we had CDs, fine, because you had to stay in line for that CD, for that
Right.
cassette. You want the most songs as possible.
It was a
Streaming
commitment.
has really changed how we consume music. Because I grew up, when Get Rich or Die Trying, I know when
Oh
that
my
shit dropped,
God. I'm
like
okay that you mention it because I enjoy it too. But
it
again,
had
we're
like it
not going to
had
make this a running joke that you think that is the greatest hip hop
no,
album
no.
of all
I'm just
time.
saying it had 18 tracks on there. I think the Black Album had like 16 or 17 tracks on there. A
Hmm.
couple of other albums centered around like 18 to 20 tracks, but it was different. Cause what? You went and got the CD, you got the booklet, you got to see the credits, you
Right.
got to see the lyrics,
Oh
you got this,
man.
you was consumed, you had time to sit there and
Those were the
consume it
days. Ripping
because
that
you
plastic
had to.
wrapper off. Yeah, it was a
Exactly.
commitment.
I can go on my iPhone and listen to this shit. I don't want to hear 20 songs.
It's just a lot. Like
I want
I
to hear your
don't.
best 12.
Right, but what are these double albums now? Like in this day and age where albums maybe had 15, 17 on a deluxe with a
Mm-hmm.
20 something track album, it feels like it's a double album and you just didn't want to call it a double album for both of them.
They just want to pad the streaming numbers. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was listening to Certified Lover Boy earlier and I was just like,
Hmm.
it's just the same shit.
Hmm.
It's just
Hmm.
and he does it well. Like Drake does
Hmm.
that shit well. But it's
Some
the
of the
same
songs,
shit.
some of the songs sounded like songs that I've heard before, just with a different variant in the hook.
Yeah. And like,
But
I mean, way too sexy with Future. That shit's a banger. I ain't gonna lie. That shit goes.
is it? It fell through for me, and I'm a huge I want them to do a What a Time to Be Alive too, because I'm a huge Future fan
That
and I'm
was
a
a
huge
fire.
Drake fan.
That
But
was a
that Way Too
fire.
Sexy, just it fell short for me. It felt now Into Deep. Into Deep
I
is
like that. That shit
that's
was
a
fire.
slapper knocker upside the head.
No, I mean, I
Um
think Way Too Sexy is perfect for Billboard shit. And like, I find myself now in my old age paying attention to more what's on Billboard and listening to it because I just want to fucking jam out and just have a good time,
yeah,
dude,
make it
and,
easy.
and just relax. Because if I get into all these like deep cuts and what I'm looking for, like
It's too
you have to you
much.
have to package it as a project that is Like that's that what a time to be alive. Like if you're
Right.
gonna give me that, package it like that, give it to me, and I'm enjoying it. But like if
Make
you're
it
gonna give me an
consumable.
album of 21 tracks, like I'm going for the heavy hitting Billboard sounding shit. I'm going for the like, the first track on there, the champagne poetry.
Oh, champagne poetry. Oh, that's a slapper knocker. I think I'm gonna start saying that. That's about to be my catchphrase.
Yo,
But
that
yeah,
shit.
that's I ride out to that. I ride out to that. That old timey sample.
Yeah.
I ride out to that for sure.
Nah, he did
I've
it.
been
But like
I
I didn't need 21. I did once again. I had to condense it to
yeah.
like 13 tracks.
Yeah, you have to. If you want to make it consumable for you in the future, once you get through all of it, which is probably what I'll have to do now that I've gotten through them both,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna, yeah, just I have it all in my library and be like, I don't need this one, I don't need that
Mm-hmm.
one. I did Certified Lover Boy earlier when it first dropped, so I was just now getting through Donda,
Mm-hmm.
and even though this came out first, I don't know, I just was so much barraged by the hype. I just took my time. But Donda Jail is a banger. I think I said that before, but
I hate that
as
track.
I listen, yo, bro, that's a banger. That feels like you're running in a field. Like
I hate that shit.
it's a huge
I didn't
banger.
need it. And the thing
Um,
is, I love the Hove and Ye like combination. Yo, when I watched the Throne dropped,
mm-hmm.
like yo, my whole world was turned upside down. But
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
another one.
when I listen to it though, I'm like, I don't feel that. And I'm not saying for
Right,
them to
right.
do the same shit, but like you should be able to recreate that feeling on a different
It's
landscape. Like
it's been a while for them
when
though.
you think
It's
about
been a while for
paintings, right?
them.
Van Gogh has painted so many different things,
Hmm.
but you feel his passion, like you feel his creativity, and you feel that vibe in every single one of his paintings that he's created.
Right.
Jail just doesn't do it for me.
I've
And
heard that
then
argument though. I've heard that. I've heard that maybe Jay's verse wasn't as well put together as people want to give him credit for, but I just think the feel of the song
just
is
hearing them
great.
is nice. I do like hearing them back together.
Kanye's got a big build up in the song, and then Jay's verse is like a slow, like down, like you're going
Mm-hmm.
down a roller coaster, like you're
Yep.
just coasting down, and then it kind of builds again. But that's why I
But
wanted to
I don't
do.
like the fact they did a jail part two with the baby. I'm like, I'm tired of these part twos. I know on like Pablo, there was a lot of part twos on there that was like fire and stuff like that. I get that, but we don't need that all
Right.
the time.
That this is like deluxe activity. That's what I'm like. How can you do this album has 27 songs. If you do a deluxe of this, what is a deluxe of this? Like 35?
A
That's this
deluxe
is
is something that I'm not going to listen to.
yeah, that deluxe is like a
You,
buffet.
I
It's just
complained
like can
about
I
the whole Pop
even
Smoke deluxe thing. I'm not listening to a Kanye deluxe.
it's just a lot. It's just a lot. But what I wanted to do now that we heard them both and we could
Mhm.
finally, I guess, uh put a placement on them in our mind at least. I got four categories and I
Mhm.
wanted to get your rating on each of these albums in each of these categories and we could see maybe which one averages out to the better for you or like
Mhm.
just kind of how you feel and we'll kind of play that like that.
Mhm.
All right, so do you want to know the four categories off top or you just want to or should we
So,
do them
well,
just
we should tell the people what they are.
all right, cool. All right, so the four categories. First one is production, just general production. How do the beats sound?
Mhm.
How does just the sonically, how does it sound without the lyrics, without any skits, any
Mhm.
ad libs, anything like that? And then second category is the overall rap skill, like overall bars, just straight vocals. Who said the more either clever thing or hard hitting thing or witty thing or who did it better for you
Mhm.
in that aspect? And then I picked this category only because I feel like they were both feature heavy in my
Yes.
perspective.
Yes.
But feature selection, who had a better feature selection? Who picked the better people and who picked the right person to do the right thing?
Mhm.
Or who put the right person in the right spot to do the right thing? It's like who just used their feature in the best way. And then last category, overall creativity? Like what seemed more creative to you generally in the project? You know, who had a more creative moment in the project itself? I'm not talking about the roll ups and the shows and the
Yeah.
Kanye at the none of the outside antics, just
Just like
in the
just to create
physical.
in the actual package of the music.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right. So we'll
Let's
start.
let's start with
You
the
want to
more
start?
recent one. Let's start with
Mm-hmm.
CLB and we'll just
CLB. And then
yeah.
you want to go straight down, or should we do CLB Donda for each one?
Um let's do CLB straight down and
Okay.
then do Donda. And then we'll just write it. We'll just take
Yeah, I'm in the notes app, so I don't know if you update it at the same time, if what'll
yeah, it
happen, but we'll
does.
figure it out as we go. All right, cool. CLB production. You want to start? Or you want me to start?
You can start.
I will start. Well, we kind of hit on it again. I feel like it is very redundant, very very redundant. I mean, I don't know if he
It's his bread
just
and butter. He's not doing
yeah,
anything new with the beats.
absolutely, absolutely. Man, I wish I wrote it down. No friends in the industry sounds like just a very familiar, simple song that he's done before.
Hmm.
Um, ah,
He's always been a person that uses samples. Like, and then like he either makes them super like super smooth, and then he does
right,
this like underwater tonal thing with his beats
right,
when he's
right. The beats
singing.
change, and then it's very familiar. Everything, something I can't remember the song off the top of my head, but
It's like the Marvin's Room type of vibe,
yeah,
the
yeah.
sunglasses in the club type shit. And I'm like, fam, this is dope. Don't get me
Mm,
wrong. He's top tier with doing this,
it
but it's
was
the
just
same
familiar. It
shit.
was just familiar. It didn't sound
I give him, they're still dope beats though. So I got to give him at least
right.
a 7.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like, even a 8. Champagne Poetry definitely bangs off top.
Mm-hmm.
Way Too Sexy is a good use of a sample. I haven't heard that sample used in a hip hop sort of
Yeah,
way.
that shit was fire. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I like it because I'm like, that's
It's
a,
a
that's a sample that you
right.
never heard flip before. I like that flip.
Yeah, I feel like I could hear if you getting ready and you about to go out, or you about to or you
Mm-hmm.
feeling good. Like I could see it. I could see where it works. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would give him an 8. I would go 8. I would go 8. What are you thinking? You said 7?
Yeah, that's a 7.
7 is good. All right, yeah, just overall rap skill, how are you feeling? Was the bars there for you? Was it top
She's
tier
she
Drizzy
said
Drake?
she said she was a lesbian, and I said
I
me too.
know. I was gonna go there too, because that's a
Yo,
good song.
you know what's crazy with Drake? Like, it no knock to him. His shit is Instagram
He's
quotable.
that guy.
But I
He's that
don't
guy.
know if having Instagram quotes makes you a top tier rapper.
Oh, I mean, in today's generation, it puts you up there. Apparently, it puts you up there because who hasn't used a
Yeah,
Drake
but
quote?
like let's let would if Jay-Z says something like that. Now he did say if I do say
Jay's
so myself.
right. Jay
Nah,
was that guy. Allow
nah.
me to reintroduce. People was,
Yeah, but that's fire
Jay
though.
was that guy for a while.
But that's fire though. And this was before Instagram too. And that's funny to think about that because like if Instagram was around back then, like a lot of his songs, like his quotes would be crazy. But I don't know if it's like
There was also on, I think it was on Pipe Down. He said, she said she belonged to the streets, but the streets belong to me. I was just like, come on, guy. Yikes. Yikes. Come on,
nah,
guy.
he got in his toxic bag in this one, man. He was just going off on it, bro. And I was just like, I mean, he's still okay for me personally, you know, because I used to rap and shit. Um, I I cannot give you above a 6 if
Really?
if I have to wonder if you wrote it or not.
No, come on. Are we gonna do that? We're gonna say it and write it now.
No, no, no. I'm
That's
saying no, no,
speculation.
no, 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 no. I'm saying because of the whole situation, we know that he has writers that be writing his shit.
But
We
we
know,
know Kanye doesn't write too, though.
but
Are
you
we
see,
aware of that?
but they're in the same category in that sense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? For me, they're in the same cat. It's just like Diddy. Diddy ain't right. Dre ain't right. When Dre was on the song with Eminem,
Guilty
that shit.
conscience.
Yes, you think
Hmm.
Dre wrote that shit?
That's nah. That's a banger too. That's a slapper knocker.
That's just a classic.
That's a slapper
That's
knocker.
Eminem's
True.
flow. That's everything. Eminem probably wrote
You're
95%
not
sure
wrong.
he
You're not
wrote that.
wrong.
But like,
I
it's still
I
a banger
wouldn't
track.
go. I wouldn't go six only because, like I said, champagne poetry definitely is
Now,
a
when he goes in his more introspective, uh, I like the introspective stuff a lot. So
yeah.
I give him an
Even
eight.
on
I give him an eight.
Love All, him and Jay-Z is a. I like him and Jay going back and forth.
Yeah. And
I
Jay
like him
gave
and
Jay,
Jay.
and the problem I have is Jay gave Drake a better verse
You think
on
so? Oh, then
100%.
J on jail. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Nah, he gave
absolutely.
him a way better verse. I was like,
I
this is what I
think
want to hear. So I give him a seven. Maybe I give him an eight. Cause like when he
I'm
goes in his bag and he start talking about
it's
his friends and
there.
all this other shit, I'm like, you know what? I feel you. Like I
It's
hate
there. It's there. He can do it. He
it's
can
just
do it. I will
I
give
don't
him an
care for
eight
the
as well.
Instagram quotes because that's just for the bitches.
Now, feature selection. Just to go over the features, we have Lil
Little
Baby,
baby.
Lil Durk, Jay-Z, Travis Scott, Future, Young Thug, Yebba, 21,
I feel
Tim's,
like all
Ty
these
Dolla. I
people
feel like I'm missing some people, but
I feel like all these people have been on his previous albums before.
very generic again. I agree. The only one
It's
that
cookie
stands
cutter.
out, the only one that stands out is maybe Yebba.
Yeah. But
I
he always
mean,
has a singer doing some type of
yeah, I was
interlude
gonna
on his joint.
say
It's
it's
very
like a
cookie cutter. It's cookie cutter, fam.
yo, it's yeah, because when I think back now, it was either before Yeba, it was like Georgia Smith he had,
Yeah.
or before that, I
He had a
can't we
whole
can go
bunch of
back, I'm
people. Yeah.
sure. It's always that one who he gets that one, you're right. Rihanna or Janae Aiko. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Like
you're right, you're right.
He's done it
Nothing
from
really
time to
surprises
time.
me.
So like, but I mean, you still have to give him an eight for it because all of them
I
showed out.
did they? People talking about Knife Talk. It's a high rated song on the album. I do not like that song. I feel like
No,
21.
I like hearing Project Pat talk his shit on there, man.
I mean, that don't do nothing for the record though. It just
Sometimes
didn't. I don't know. Knife Talk wouldn't be on my breakdown of the when I break down the album.
I like that song, man. But 21, I think, has improved a lot with his rap skill. But like I said, like he's been on the last like maybe one or two, and it's like,
Travis Scott also.
but yeah, listen, I fuck with Travis so heavy, bro. I can't even
Me
talk
too.
shit.
Me too. Fair Trade is would be
That
definitely top
shit,
on my breakdown. Like that is a
ooh,
good.
that shit's fire.
That's another quotable. He said, "I started." What he said, I started losing friends and gaining peace. That sounds like a fair trade to me. Like some girl is gonna put that under her picture tonight.
And she's the one that was traded in for peace.
I know, and she was the person that broke up all the peace, and she gonna throw that under her picture tonight. You can't. I fucking hate it here,
Nah, but
man.
when you
But
got Travis Scott on the record, I don't think you can miss. Like that dude.
I wouldn't say that. I don't want to give these top tier artists that kind of a
Nah,
pass.
but
Like
Travis though,
he be hitting, he hits. That's why I said fair trade. It hits. He
like
hits. That's a
not
slapper
like eight
knocker.
times out of 10, bro. Like you getting a banger with Travis on there.
You're not lying. You're not lying. In the Bible, and I'm not about to start a quote or nothing, but the song in the Bible. Do you like that song?
I think I skipped over it.
I don't like that song. Like the beat is weird, the flow is like off pace to me.
Yeah, I don't really
I just
care
want
for
to
it.
get you.
Like I listened to
Opinion
like
on
the
that.
first like minute 30 of a lot of these songs. I was like, yeah, I don't really care for this shit.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy.
Because
But
I'm like,
okay,
it's like I said, it's the same
it
shit.
feels very, and that's Little Durk and Giveon, and we literally just heard Little Durk and Drake, and then Giveon was just on what is that? Scary, dark,
Oh,
scary lane,
yes. Yeah.
demo tapes,
Yeah,
lane,
yeah, yeah,
something. I don't know,
yeah.
man. But feature selection, I'm gonna go with a 6. I feel like the feature selection is very basic. Like some people phoned it in, some people didn't. It was
I'll give it a 7 because Hove helps him out because of that verse. Travis helps him out.
true.
Future does what Future does. And I'm never going to talk bad about Future. So, you know what I mean? So I think those three for me, I give him a 7. Everyone else, I'm not saying they did bad, but like it's just the same.
Unimpactful, yeah. So I'm sorry, what'd you say again? I'm trying to write these all down now. You said 7?
7.
7. All right. I'm gonna do 6. So just last category for CLB, creativity.
Oh, that's a
How
3. That's a 3.
3, you don't feel no creativity came out of this project?
It's just like it's all of his albums mashed into one. And like he's just picking like we said, the features, it's the same
Mm-hmm.
people,
Right.
right? The sounds, like no disrespect to 40 and them, like this, the
The
beats are
sounds are
crazy, they're
right.
dope, but they're in the lane. And I
They're
get
very
it.
familiar.
When you
Yeah.
have a lane that you're dominating in, yes, you're going to do your best music in that lane. But then you
Right.
got so many people. When I think about how J. Cole comes out and he does what the last album that he did, and I was like, because the one before that, I was like, that's boring as shit. I threw that shit out the window. But
Oh
this
my
last one
God.
that he did, I was like,
You're gonna
there
have
you
them J.
go.
Cole fans on you, man.
I,
Don't we can't put that
listen,
clip
I
out.
went to St. John's. I don't want your shit.
So you're gonna say 3. I'm gonna just give it a 5, and that's being very generous. I feel also probably for the same reasons. It just feels very phoned in,
Mm-hmm.
very for being highly anticipated. It was just, and it's so much like generic, like
Yes.
genericism. I don't know if that's a word, but it's so generic all the way through that
Yeah.
it just feels like there was no creativity. Like he was like, oh, let me get another one of those non-stops. Let me get another one of those I mean, but he don't even got that many, I wouldn't say bangers because they bang, but
Nah, but the
I
thing
don't
is
know
though,
if these
like
songs are gonna hit as high as the heights of his other songs, you know.
I hope he, if he hears this and he tries to diss me, I mean, I'll rap his ass all day. But like, I'm wondering if he,
If we get a Drake this, we lit.
oh, I'm gonna bury his ass. Um, I wonder if he doesn't want to do anything creative because he doesn't want to lose the spot that he has
Right.
as the most
That
streamed, this,
guy.
the, and the third.
Right.
Because like, look at Hove. Like Hove, we got Blackout. Came back with Kingdom Come. It was totally different. The sounds was different. Everyone
Right.
hated it when it came out,
Everyone hated it.
but
Yeah, it
everyone
was
loves it
too
now.
different.
But everyone
Right.
loves it now. Um, then you have the Blueprint 3. It was all right. There was some joints on there was all right, but American Gangster, whoa.
Right.
444, whoa. The other one that's before that with the Justin Timberlake song on there, I like that album a lot too. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to be able to like if you know you the man, you to be the man and then do some other shit to make people be like, yeah,
Right.
you
It
still the
wasn't
man.
enough. It wasn't enough of anything new or different to feel
Mm-hmm.
like you, you're reaching that you're reaching someplace else. But that's a kind of another question we could go into maybe at a later date. But like, has he peaked yet? Do we think he's peaked? Is it are we coasting now? Are we finally plateaued and we're just coasting?
I will
Like you've
say
been on
this.
fire for so long that you're finally just at a regular simmer and then eventually you'll cool down. But
He has his he knows he's in his lane, he know where his car is, right? But here's the thing, there's multiple lanes in the highway while you're in that car.
right,
So you can change your speed up and you can do different things to get to the same destination and you can switch your lanes because it's the same highway. You just got to be able to switch in different lanes and give people something different and be able to go from one to another. And you got to progress that moving forward. Like, look at Kendrick, like Good Kid, Mad City,
Yeah.
To Pimp a
To pimp,
Butterfly.
completely different.
Damn, three
Completely
completely
different.
different albums,
Yeah.
three solidified classics. You can't say nothing to him.
Easy, easy, easy.
Look
He's
at
coming
Cole.
too. He's
Even with
coming
Cole,
too.
um, I forget what his first one was.
KOD,
KOD,
uh, uh,
Forest Hills Drive,
Forest Hills.
Born Sinner, his first joint, The Untold Story. It's like, fam,
Mm-hmm.
every single one is different. But every single one, bangers was on there. He put whoever he was at the time is in there. And I'm like, I feel like just Drake is the same nigga every single time. Like,
He's managed
and
to
and it worked. Like,
work
it
for
worked
it.
the first with the first album, Take Care, probably his best work. Uh Views, I think was okay, but I didn't even listen to
Mm-hmm.
the album that much. But I was
A
like,
lot of this sounded like if you're reading this, it's too late,
yeah,
mixed with I think it was Scorpion.
yeah,
All right, but yeah, I gotta go 5 on creativity.
yeah.
Switching over to Donda now. Let's
Mhm.
just straight off the top. Production is the only knock I could give on production was it was a lot of like long beats with just nothing. Like it was just the beat playing,
Mhm.
and then it was a lot of choir stuff. Like I'm just kind of burned out on Kanye and the choir stuff. I know that's kind of his bag, but the beats were absolutely insane,
Yo,
insane.
I gotta give him an 8 because even with the like the choirs and stuff, he's still. I'm not saying they're like the greatest things, but
Mm-hmm.
they sound good.
They're insane,
They
insane,
they sound
insane,
good. Like
insane.
I was like, I may want to go back to church if he's there, if he's there, I'm there. You know what I'm
So
saying? Because I'm
you
like,
gonna be sitting front row at the Sunday service?
shit, you have no idea, fam. I'll be there because that shit sounds good. I'm gonna give him
Yeah.
an 8 because that shit sounds
I
good.
would even go 9. I would even go 9, but
The reason why I
eh,
wouldn't go now, I feel like he could have added more drums in a lot of songs or whatever, because he did that thing again when he took out a lot of drums and a lot of things. And that was my complaint about the Jesus album too. But I understand what a Jesus album
mm,
was. But I'm like, Kanye, I know you the drums, man. Like
mhm.
you are hip hop's beat maker.
He's got something with drums now, though. That he said like 808s are the devil or something like that. Like it's don't quote me on it, but I seen some weird quote where
You
he
know what I
feels
feel
weird
like?
about certain drum patterns or something like that
I feel like
spiritually.
I feel like he's just mad insecure about drums because maybe that was one of the things he always had a weakness with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I remember there was a story where, like, I think it was he took the drums off. I remember it was Last Call on College Dropout. He was talking about he took the drums off Explosive and was tweaking them. And he had to get somebody to help him, like, EQ them a certain way. So I feel
Oh
like
wow.
drums, like, he's obviously he's improved, but maybe
Right.
he's just like, I don't. Maybe he's just like, maybe the insecurities came back up because of the choir stuff and how those would sound with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe
He
he's
used a
just like,
lot of he used a lot of tribal drums on 808s and Heartbreak.
and I
So
love that shit, man.
right. And that was another album people wasn't with when it came out and then
No,
realized like, yo,
it changed everything.
this is a whole sound.
So yeah,
And then
I'm gonna give him I said an 8. Yeah, I'm gonna give him an 8.
yeah, I'm gonna do a 9. And then we get into overall rap skill. And
7.
this is where to me, Kanye
He never was a top lyricist. We know this.
that's what I'm realizing now because I feel like he's been so high in my like just the overall music and production
Mhm.
and how the music felt. Like I maybe never keyed in on the bars, but now that I'm older and I'm like listening to lyrics and like, hold on, he said what? Really?
What he said, Adam could never be a black
Oh,
man
we
because a
always go
black
to the
man could
yeah.
never share his rib. I ain't gonna lie, I
I'm like,
laughed out loud. I ain't gonna lie.
no. It
Nah,
sounded like he laughed too because they cut it. He was like,
yeah.
and like he leaned from the mic or something. But
And I
yeah,
was
that
like,
was my first thought
for
too.
me, I'm like, that's like prankster Kanye for me. I'm like, I
That was
like
a
those.
cheap shot. Yeah.
I was like,
And then
what?
he didn't stop the flow either. He was like, Adam, Adam, Adam could never beat black at because he a black at would never give up his I was like, okay, guy, you're just
I was
this
like, yo, he
is
was he
I'm
was having
offended.
fun at that point. I was like, all right, I like
I
it. I was
hate
like,
it here. I want to speak to the manager.
I was dying, dude. I was laughing my ass off when I heard that because like, yo, it's not lyrical at all. It's stupid, but like it's
what
enjoyable, right?
what
Like M's like so the problem. Like the thing with hip hop is like when we talk about MCs is supposed to entertain you. Does that mean they
move the
always
crowd.
have to be the most lyrical at all times? Probably
Right,
not. It just
right.
got to make you like enjoy what you're listening to. You know what I'm saying? No matter how dumb it is. And that's why like, Drake, like it's perfect for him because like Instagram quotes is perfect to move the crowd and make them
Right.
enjoy the music. And I think
Short
Kanye
little statements that generic people could agree to or,
or
you
laugh
know,
at. That's just like
laugh at. Yeah.
it's like a crazy comparison.
Not
But
too
it's a
complicated.
7, bro, because like Kanye was never a top lyricist. He
I'm
can go off
realizing that.
sometimes.
I don't
Like,
know because and then now that I'm realizing he has writers also, it's like we gave Drake this whole, ghostwriting rumors, but a lot of people were ghostwriting. Did you know Styles P was a ghostwriter for Kanye?
so here's the thing,
Styles P?
and you know the difference
That's the
between
just the
Drake.
styles are different.
You know the thing between Drake and Kanye in that sense that's different because Drake was running around here acting as if he was writing all of this shit. He was a top dog. He was a top nigga writing all of this shit. And then when his shit got aired out, he was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And he took that super personal because you see what he did to Meek after he did that shit, right? Kanye
Listen,
never sat here and told us he was the best rapper. He said, "I just want to rap." He's like, I just want to make rap music and I just want to make the best total package that I can. And that's been his whole thing since the beginning. You know what I mean? So
and that he has done. He has
multiple times.
for sure done that.
So, but
And then when I
seven,
think, yeah, I think back now, it's like Kanye and his rhymes is like, have they ever been top tier? I'm just thinking back at songs and it's like, if I fuck this model
his
and she just
production,
bleached her asshole and I get bleach on my t-shirt, I'm gonna feel like an asshole. Like that's not a bar. This is not a. These are just weird chained together statements about a certain event, So it's like I'm gonna have to
yeah,
go 6. I'm gonna go 6. Just
I felt I
the
felt a way
music was
about that
good.
line too. But the thing is, though, Kanye really his production makes you forget about all of that so
That's the
much.
thing. That song was a banger though. We would
Yeah,
sing that happily, easily because that song is an it's a complete slapper knocker,
yeah.
and you can't avoid that in any form. But the
Nah, but I
bars,
definitely give
yeah,
him a 7.
I gotta go 6. Future selection now.
When he talks about like his life though, like he he'd be like when he was talking about Kim in that song, Lord I Know, I was like, this is he's writing, man. He's writing. I like it.
Now, what I didn't like is on Donda, at least on Apple Music, when you go on the track list,
Mm-hmm.
you can't see the features. They just say the name of the songs, and like I
Oh,
feel like that
Spotify, yeah. Who started that? I think 21 Savage was the first one who did that and it fucked everybody up or some
that's
shit.
doing a disservice to the people who like want to listen back to the certain artist on a song and
And
then they don't
understand who was on it. Yeah.
right like
But
oh if
we
I hear a
know
sound of a new artist and now I don't know who that is.
but we know Travis, Hove, um, Fabio, which probably has the best outstanding
Mm-hmm.
fucking show out on that
Oh,
album.
okay. Wait, I got the full track list right here.
Uh,
So the Donda Chan is actually Selena Johnson. I didn't know that.
oh, he went
Um,
back for her. That's cool.
so Jail is Francis and the Lights, which I guess is a band, and then Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
God Breathe. Oh, it's so many. So it's just a lot. I don't want to have to do this whole thing. Vori, Playboy Cardi, Fabio, Little Baby, The Weeknd, Baby Keem, Travis Scott, Little Dirk, Lil Yachty, let's see, Young Thug, Don Toliver, Kid Cudi, Ariana Grande, Tony Williams, Conway and the Machine, West Side Gun, KC, The Lox, Jay Electronica, Swiss Beats, Chris Brown, sort of, Pop Smoke, sort of. Mm. Roddy Ricch, Sincere, The Sunday Service, Ty Dolla, and a lot of production credits.
Nine.
Wow.
Everybody
So
got in their bag with that album.
that's the thing too. That God Breathe is crazy. Like I said, Jay's verse wasn't the best on Jail, but where it was in the placement of the song was hitting. Fabio's verse and Off the Grid.
Shit, man.
You could
I
just give
can't.
me that. That could have been part two. It could have been Off the Grid and then Off the Grid part two, like how he did with
Yeah.
Designer on Pablo.
Mm-hmm.
He could have that Hurricane, Little Baby,
The Weekend. That shit.
Weekend. Oh my
That right there
God.
is a smoker.
That's a
That one
big
right
record. I
there
feel like
is
a
a
stadium
smoker.
is just chanting that, screaming
Mm-hmm.
that. Huge, huge. Moon is a builder for me because I didn't listen to it when I first played it through, and then I was like,
Mm.
hold on, let me go back because I'm a fan of Don Toliver, but yeah, Moon is both Kid Cudi and Don went off on that,
No,
but
they did. Yeah.
I would have to go mainly because there's just so many features and a good
That Travis
portion
record
of
was
people.
fire.
Which one? Praise God.
Yeah.
Praise God. Yeah.
He got
Yeah.
in his
So
pocket, man. Like Travis finds his pocket with anyone and he just goes. He doesn't care.
he's a sound. He has his own sound. You can't do his sound without him. And when
No.
he's there, his sound is very present.
Mm-hmm.
Very present. So yeah, I'm gonna go 9 as well. It's a strong showing. It's a lot of people, but people can
Everyone
show and
like,
prove.
especially when you had Conway and
Mm-hmm.
West Side Gun
West
talking
Side.
like about like God shit in their
Mm-hmm.
own way. I'm like, you got these two like they talk like the greasy shit so masterfully. Like it's beautiful gangster music, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like to
Put over
hear
that
them
production.
and then to hear them be able to change shifts and still give you that while also talking about like their faith and how God watched over them and they still doing like the God thing, but it's still like
Right.
it
In
fits
their
right.
way. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's out of place. I'm like, that's
Good
fucking
stuff.
masterful.
Good stuff. Good stuff. He should produce more for them. I feel like especially for
Dude, you know what
West
song he
Side
produced?
Gun.
You know what song he produced that I was like amazed by, and I
What's
fucking love
that?
the song, "Industry Baby" by Lil Nas X.
No way.
Dude,
I haven't I don't
it's
think
a
I've heard the song, honestly.
that
I've seen clips of the video, but
it
wait,
is.
so Kanye is on his Jesus stuff, but he'll work with an openly gay man, Little Nas X.
He has an interview from like back in 2004, 2005, where he said that he would be in the studio and he would tell people not to use gay as a slur because gay people are still people and they need to be respected. And like, there was like,
This is
you can't.
Kanye, you're saying?
This is Kanye said was saying that in the interview. So
Wow.
he was saying, so he's been supportive, of the whole of
I
their whole
mean,
community, and he respects them. So I'm not surprised, and possibly he's probably one of those type of Christians that's like, I'm gonna still respect you and love you because you're still God's child, regardless of what you do.
I
So
can see
like,
that.
if he's that way,
I
like
respect that.
and that's why he took. I mean, it's weird because he took the song with the baby off
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
us
over the AIDS stuff.
off the Spotify, but then he has them on the album. So I don't know. I don't get it, but like at the same time
I
too, I'm
mean,
like,
he's in the fashion world, and of course, we know there's a
yeah.
huge homosexual community in the fashion industry. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's run across gay people. I'm sure he's worked with gay people already.
And
If
and he's cool with them, you know what
and
I'm saying?
he's
And
yeah,
as
to
you
get where
should
he's
be.
going, he's probably
I was
gonna
like
have to.
exactly. So I think him doing industry baby, I was surprised because that
Mhm.
shit's a banger, dude.
Is it? I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh
I just
fam.
remember Hey Panini, like that
Oh,
Little Nas X
Montero.
song.
I know
Yeah.
people like like they kind of think of Montero and they're like, yo, this shit's not, you know, because he's talking about being able to do whatever, but that shit bangs too, though. I'm sorry, like
Hey,
industry baby, like yo, if his album, if this is any indication of what his album's gonna sound like, I'm listening because that shit's fire. Industry baby, produced by Kanye, that shit
nice.
is 10
Let
for
me just
10.
say this. When I listen to music, I listen to it objectively. I don't listen to it as in like I'm applying myself to that unless it's
Mm-hmm.
something that I identify with.
Yep,
So when I could listen to Cardi, like Cardi B.
100%.
I can listen to Meg The Stallion. I
I
could listen
can't,
to the City Girls. I could listen to,
I can't listen
I
to
know
Meg.
that's not,
I can't listen to City
no.
Girls. Only Cardi. Cardi's the only one out of
I
that
fuck
whole
with
group I'm listening to.
just saying like if a song come on, I'm not like, oh, ill, no, I can't listen to that girl. Like I
Mm-hmm.
understand like that's what you're doing. That's not what I'm doing. Like a lot of
Exactly.
these rappers is rapping about shooting niggas up. Like that's what you're doing. That's not
That's
what
not what
I'm
I'm
doing.
doing.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't put myself in the shoes of these artists that I listen to, but
Yeah.
I understand what they're saying is what they're doing. But
Yeah. So go check out those
I
two,
know some people have a
Montero and like Industry
problem.
Baby. Them shits is fire.
I'm gonna check those out. I'm gonna check those out. Last category, we can wrap this up.
I
This
mean,
is a whole
do
long
we?
debate. We got to do creativity just
Oh man,
off
it's not.
Donda.
It's a 9
It's a 9. I'm just thinking, and like I
because it's not.
said
It's nothing
previously,
like anything he's done before. Obviously, like once again, it's not because even Jesus is King. It didn't have features like this. It wasn't as star studded with the guest list as this. And like there is some elements like the choir stuff, but like I feel like he did a lot of different things.
it's just a lot to me. And when you have so much,
Mhm.
it kind of feels like diluted at a point. Like
Yeah, I feel you.
God Breathe sounds like 808s and Heartbreaks. What's that song? I'm not loving you the way I
Oh,
wanted
Love
to.
Lockdown.
Love Lockdown. It kind of sounds like that. So there are like familiar moments, not as much
Mhm.
as Drake's though. Clearly, but there are familiar moments.
You
But
get
I'm
that
just trying to.
feeling. The vibe is there, but it's sonically the landscape is different.
Yeah, I would go 8. I would go 8.
Oh, that means Donda's the better album.
I mean,
That means
only
Donda's the
because
better
only
album.
because
Yo, they gonna be mad. We gonna get
hey,
mad messages. I'm like, Donda's the better album, dude. I'm sorry.
that's
Like
okay.
Kanye, once
It's a
again, dude.
lot.
Like, say what you say want to say about Kanye. Every single time he comes out, it's going to be different. Now, mind you, I still think it should have been a shorter album. Like I said, I
Right.
shortened it down to 13 songs.
That would do it. That would make it a more easier digestible.
Oh,
Like I
he
would
would have
have
had
more
nines.
solid answers. I
He
feel
would
like I
have
was just on a
nines. He would have
long
like
roller
nines and
coaster.
tens all over that shit if he scaled it down.
Right. Make it more concise
And
and
if
get a
Drake
lot of these
scaled it
part
down
twos
too,
out of here.
if Drake scaled it down too, he probably have more eights and nines on his shit too. But at least for us here on the podcast, bro, Donda's the winner.
Yeah. I'll take Donda. I'll once I break it down, remix it, maybe change some placements around. I'll,
Mm-hmm.
make my own little playlist out of it. But 2021 has definitely been an interesting year for music, to say the least. I just
Yep.
want to see, bear with me one second.
Mm-hmm.
What are the top rap albums of the year so far? What would
Uh,
you select? What would you expect so far?
does the Cole album come out this year? That
Uh
new one, that new Cole came out this year, so that would be definitely one of
oh
them.
yeah, the off season.
The
Yeah.
off season, yeah.
So we got the off season, Certified Lover Boy. Oh wait, let me just go to a full article. So Nas, King Disease.
Yes.
Let's see, Isaiah Rashad's The House is Burning,
I
which
haven't
was
listened to it yet.
yeah, I haven't gotten through it, but I did hear one track with Schoolboy Q that was definitely was hard.
Mhm.
Tyler's Call Me If You Get Lost,
100%.
which is killing.
That
Dude
should that shit
can't
should be
miss,
that
yo.
shit should be top. Like if you really had to pick a top album I feel like Tyler would have it.
He can't miss. He can't miss. Polo G's Hall of Fame.
I don't even listen. I don't even know who that is.
Polo G from Chicago. That's the number one album this
Really?
year. Yeah, he had I'm a rap star, rock star.
I don't know. I've
It's,
heard the
it's
name. I just
he's the
haven't heard the
younger
songs.
artist. I don't wanna bash him, but he's hard. He's hard. He got some stuff that was
Faith by Pop Smoke would have been a top album if they ain't put out so many damn deluxes.
listen, man. I mean, we had Exodus by DMX was cool. I mean, kind of a tribute, but I know it wasn't.
They they should have waited on it and then crafted it to be something a bit
It
better.
was, man, they just want to get something out in that in his honor. I feel like,
Yeah.
on how that go. Got Gangsta's Pain, Moneybag Yo. I ain't really go through that, but I feel like all the
Everybody
radio
loves Moneybag
spins.
Yo.
Yeah, I feel like the radio kind of has them on
They
lock.
got him in a different placement than like what we would expect.
The voice with Lil Durk.
I haven't even and Little Baby, I haven't even heard that shit either.
Right. And then That's What They All Say by Jack Harlow, which was a cool album. I don't think I ever finished it, but the top
Jack Harlow is like the new white rapper experiment in mainstream right now. And I kind of like it, man. I kind of like it.
I'm cool with it too. I mean, you're gonna like who you like, and there's somebody for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm cool with that. But all this music, all of this content with the quarantine, it's been a lot to digest. Just thinking of upcoming movies, movie hype that's been happening so far. Just I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
name a couple movies. You let me know how you feel about them, if you're excited for them, if you care, if they shouldn't even made this movie, because that's kind of I'm thinking about maybe one of these. But just off the rip, we got The Matrix 4. This
I
is
don't need
the
it.
this is a struggle for me too. I'm still trying to digest what the story is, even in seeing the trailer. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, because like it seems like they reverted back to what the world used to be in the storyline.
Right.
And I'm
Back to
like, so
the
what was the
humanity
point?
part,
So I was like, what was the point of doing all of that you did just to go back?
the whole prophecy and stuff. I don't know. I don't know
It looks
what's
amazing.
does it.
I mean, listen, the film industry technology wise has come a long way. They
I'm
don't, you know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like that's cool, but like I don't need it. I love Keanu though. I'm
Yeah.
more excited for John Wick 4 than Matrix. Because John Wick 4, that storyline where it left off in the third one,
Right.
hella crazy,
There
bro.
can be more. I kind of feel that same way too. But I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Matrix franchise. I feel like they should have included Morpheus, but they got another. I'm familiar with his name. He played Dr. Manhattan in the
Watchmen?
Watchmen series on HBO. So yeah, I don't check facts or names around here, but
Nah,
you
me
can look him
neither.
up. Yeah, he's playing. I guess he's playing Morpheus's role, or how they're doing this whole story now. And Trinity, he meets her in a coffee shop. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling the trailer, but I just don't know. I don't know if this
I don't
movie
know,
was
man. Like
necessary
I
for the
was saying,
franchise. It just feels like one of those, not a cash grab, but let's see how far we can push this until they don't care anymore, kind of.
well, I got something to do. There's something about these type of movies, but let's get through your list first before I even go off on them because
Yeah.
it's starting to get on my
So
damn nerves.
next upcoming one I am definitely excited about is the Spider-Man No Way Home, which is
That's just
supposedly
that
introducing the whole multiverse to the whole
in the actual
Marvel
movies.
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really big. They're supposed to include a lot of different people.
I think
But yeah, how you feeling?
that's already a 8 out of 10 for me so far. It's gonna be a 9 to 10 or a 10 out of 10 once I see it. And so just because they got Doc Ock back in there,
Right.
and
That trailer was really good.
just the hype. I think they have Green Goblin, so I'm wondering which Green Goblin they're gonna bring
A
into
lot
it,
of speculation, a lot of
and then
speculation. There's
the
only one Green
speculation.
Goblin they can bring. Like, we don't want to see no one but Willem Dafoe.
That's 100. I was about to say that.
We
Yeah,
don't want to see no one other than Alfred Molina is Doc Ock, so they couldn't have not gotten him for Doc Ock,
Nah.
especially with the Spider-Man PS4 game being a
Mhm.
huge banger on top. This is the only way these all these things can stay
Yes.
interconnected and still be as top quality as it is. So
And just having the idea that you may get to see Tobey Maguire back in the suit, the first
Toby,
Spider-Man on film, you know what I mean? Like,
they're saying Toby and Andrew both.
and I like both of them. I like the
This is
Amazing
gonna
Spider-Man. Like, I like those two movies, man.
that series is not as highly rated as the other Spider-Man franchises, but
It's not,
it all
but
comes together in a whole
it's not, but
type of character.
I enjoyed it a lot, man. The fact that
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like, I think it's because it wasn't like a Mary Jane situation. It was a Gwen Stacy situation, and like they
Right,
and like people couldn't grasp on because probably the casual viewer probably didn't know that she was before Mary Jane in the first place.
right,
So
right.
they went. So in my eyes, I figured they were trying to push him further along to
Mm-hmm.
like 3 or 4 movies, but he's older
It
and he would
didn't.
get older, but
Yeah,
he's
it
still
didn't
trying to
take.
play this. So they was like, you're getting old, which is sad because I think he was great, but he's getting older, so we won't be able to keep up the same youth on you the
Right.
same way. You know what I'm
Unless
saying?
they
So,
do it like this. This is a great way. So
oh,
now
this is
maybe there
perfect.
can be some sort of, I don't know, something down the line where he can play. Like, I think there's a part in the comic books where there's like a Spidey union, like all the Spider-Men from all the, I could be making this up, but it would
Technically,
sound
you're right. I
familiar.
read that. I read that comic. It's called the Spider Verse as well. So the Spider Verse movie that we got was like a movie version of what it was supposed to be, but the actual story in the comics, once again, is like way bigger. It involves
Right.
way more people. The like the consequences of everything is like way worse. I'm like, the story is insane. I read the whole series of it, and I'm like, if they try to bring that into the Spider-Man thing now because of this whole multiverse thing, and they just they bring it into like maybe this movie and another movie, I'm like, it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
It's a lot. They could start building off it because
Mhm.
Spider-Man is gonna be a part of
Spider-Man is
the.
the most famous Marvel character out of everybody else.
They said he's the most. He generates the most profit, like
Hmm.
in characters. It's
Because
just
he's just a
too.
regular nigga, bro.
It's too relatable to people. Like he's just a
Yeah.
regular dude. He likes a girl. She's into him, but not into him. And he has a
Hmm.
best friend, and they
Like,
kind of
he's
hang out,
going
and
through
they're into
all of
their
the
own
shit that
thing.
regular niggas go through, but he's also Spider-Man, and
Right.
he has to juggle that. And I'm like, yo, he's cool, but I'm excited
It's
for
super
that one.
cool. It's super cool. And then lastly, oh no, not lastly. I'm sorry. Next on my list, because I know you're a huge anime fan, and this is one of the top rated animes, I think, in classic memory, Cowboy Bebop.
Is that a show or a
So
movie?
this is gonna be a movie, a live action. Are you familiar with the cast?
I know it's homeboy from Harold and Kumar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the other two people are though.
Oh, excuse me. This is gonna be a TV series
Yes,
on
that's what I thought.
Netflix.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
okay.
thought.
I thought it was just gonna be a movie.
I will say this,
So
right? When it comes to live action, like especially for animes, like
mhm.
um they have to be very good, and they have to be like very conscious of the fact there's a lot of things that happen in animes that they can't do live on screen.
Right, right.
And like,
I
when you're
just
choosing what to bring to live action, you got to know what you're doing, right? There was an Attack on Titan live action movie that they
oh
did a couple
gosh.
years back. Trash.
No good.
We had the Dragon Ball Z live action they tried to do a couple years ago. Trash.
Oh my
Um,
God, yes. Oh, oh,
Dragon Ball
don't
Evolution,
remind
whatever
me.
that book.
I
And you know
know.
what's fucked up? It was a nigga who did it. And this nigga had
No.
the audacity to sit here and be like, I didn't know the whole. I just wanted to do a movie. I didn't know nothing
Right.
about it. And I was like,
Wow,
yo,
they set
somebody
him
find
up.
this nigga. And
That was
like,
a big thing though. They brought Dragon Ball to like Burger King. It was in the like
yeah,
kids' toys. It
and
was
it
a
was
big thing, but it
trash.
was just
But when they
garbage.
do it right, though, like there is the Tokyo Ghoul live action 1 and 2. Both of them
Hmm.
joints was fire. They got the Rurouni Kenshin movies. All of them joints is fire.
People didn't like it because it wasn't like exact to the anime, but the oh, and it just left my mind. Death Note, the Death Note live action
Because
on, I believe it was on Netflix.
they placed it in America rather than leaving it
Yeah.
in Japan, and I can understand
It
that.
would it
You
wasn't
didn't
it
need to
wasn't
change it because
direct to the anime.
yeah,
Yeah. It was
because
like some New York, I mean not New York, some like Californian kid, and
yeah,
it
like
was different. It was different.
you can't do Death Note and not keep it where the same because there's no reason to there's no reason to have changed that.
Yeah.
There's no reason like that like even with the Attack on Titan, the reason why it was so trash is because like first of all, like they're not even Asian in Attack on Titan. They have like, European, German S names, but then
They'll do
they
that
switched
too.
them off to like, Asian names and stuff like that. Like Levi was even in it. And it's like, why did you make these changes? I'm like, you should have just went with you sold the idea, got a bigger budget and just did it the right way. And I'm like, the Death Note movie, they didn't need to change the location. They didn't need change like them to like Americans. They could have just kept it in Tokyo and done with everything that they needed to do. Like it wasn't a sense.
Anytime they do these live actions, they pick and choose, and it's like when they take from books, they want to pick and choose, and then parts of the story struggle or
Mm-hmm.
parts of the character struggle,
And
or
that's what killed Percy Jackson. Like, cause I'm actually finishing up that book series now, and like I
wow, I
read
remember
the
those.
first two movies and I read the first two books. They don't match at all, and it pissed me off because I'm like the books are so much better than the movies. You know what I mean? And it's just like the thing is, I think people who get chosen to do these live actions, they actually need to be a fan and they actually need to understand the content that they're creating and make sure that they don't fuck it up. They can't
It's a
get new people
tough,
who just found it was like, oh, I want to do it and just do it.
right.
Like it shouldn't work like
It's
that.
a tough sell. I mean, you got to be a fan of it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that brings me to my next one or final one, I guess, which is Halloween Kills, which is, I don't even know the number in the franchise, but it's another Halloween movie with
I'll take it. I'll
me
take it.
too, me
I'll take it.
too, me too. And for a couple of reasons, I just want to tell you, I'm not just preference. I'm not typically attracted to white women, but something about Jamie Lee Curtis does it for me, bro. She does it for me. And I'm just being honest. Like her silver hair, if we was on a dinner date or something, I don't know where it would go.
Yo,
But
you are wild,
I
nigga.
remember she used to do those Activia commercials, and I used to just stop and be like, "Yeah, I eat yogurt too, baby. We could eat yogurt. We could get regular. We could get
Yeah.
get our bowels right."
This nigga stupid.
I just find her absolutely adorable.
Nah,
But
man. Like her whole character has like what I like about it is her evolution from the first movie all
from
the
the
way to
first
now.
one, it's dope because in the first one, she's running from him, trying to get away. She thinks she kills him. And then by now in this one,
She's like, I want
she's
it. She's like,
she's like,
this
yo,
it's
bring it
on site.
on. Wait till Halloween. I'm strapped up. I've been training.
And
Like,
not even her, but the daughter too.
but her
If you
whole
haven't seen the last
family.
one, this is a spoiler. Like when her daughter's like, it's like, I don't want to do this. No, I
Right.
don't want to do this. And then
Let's
she's
run
like,
away.
got you, nigga. I was like, what? I'm like, yo,
Crazy.
that twist at the end. I'm like, this is how you fucking write a movie.
I'm gonna
This is
watch
how
it
you do it.
tonight. I feel like that's a action movie with horror elements.
Yes,
Because horror movies, I don't like horror movies.
I love them.
I'm not into sitting here jump scaring, staring at the
Oh
screen.
man, I
I don't
love
know.
that
The
shit.
music's too loud. And then
Oh
I hear
nah,
something in the background and I don't know what's behind me. Like I'm not trying to sit
nah, I
here like
love
that
that
all
shit,
night.
bro. I love that shit. That's
I'm
my
not
horror
cut out
movies are
for
my
it.
favorite type of movie. for
But this
sure.
I can watch. Halloween I can watch because I know it's suspenseful, but it's about to turn up and shit's about to get crazy, and I'm gonna enjoy what I see. And the
100%.
story, this is one of the most consistent franchises because the story has been
And
like
it's
literally,
evolved.
yes, it's just been grown. It's like it's almost a universe at this point. Like her daughter can go on and have her own movies now. Like it's
And
such a
they
great
don't
franchise.
and they don't even though it's all in the same like universe it is, but they don't try to sit here and try to make it like this big spectacle that is in the universe. No, it's just
Right.
a fucked up story that we have to see end.
And it's going ham. I feel like this is what Scream could have been,
Yeah.
but Scream just at a point got wacky and ridiculous.
It's because of the parody. I think the parody also helped like people kind of look at it in a different way.
True,
The scary
true,
movies and
true. The
stuff like that.
scary, right, right,
Like no
right. It
one
was
parodied Halloween, and I think that helped it a lot. Like when you do a parody, like
you
especially
take
like
away.
the Paranormal Activity movies, right? Like
Mhm.
there was a couple of parodies about that, and I feel like it kind of took away from them, even though I enjoyed them. But Halloween, they definitely haven't done it.
It's stayed intact. It's still very suspenseful. I cannot wait to see this next one come out, and I will
Mm-hmm.
be DMing Jamie Lee Curtis tonight if she needs a slim African American housekeeper.
Ah, you stupid.
I will gladly eat Activia yogurt and anything she need, bro. I'm just saying her and not let me see what she looked like right now before I even say her name because
So I
I'm
was gonna
shallow
say
like
this
that.
when we was talking about the Matrix. I
Mhm.
understand that people want to like continue the universes or they want to remake movies, but it's like, are we going to continue? Like, even though I love Halloween and I'm excited
Mhm.
that's coming back, like, when are we?
Mhm.
Is creativity dead? Like, are we just going to continue? Like,
I feel you. You feel like they're just doing the same things over and over. I understand it because it's easier to sell. It's the same reason that artists sample songs. It's
mm,
easier to sell you something that you know already or that you have some familiar idea with than
mm-hmm,
it is to sell you something that's brand new because then I
yeah,
gotta make you believe in it. Then I gotta convince you that this is better or newer or cooler than what you are already familiar with.
mm,
And a lot of times, oh shit, humans, we're creatures of habit. So if we know something and it produces a similar response consistently, then we can go to it for that response. But then if we try something new and it doesn't hit, then we just like, damn, I wasted my time over here.
yeah, I
So a
get
lot of
that.
these studios, when they put millions and millions of dollars behind a movie, they want to know like this is something that we know the public is into. It's gonna hit. It is a franchise that's so old that
But
still has
people get
fans.
so tired though, man. Like the Matrix 4, we don't need that. But on the other hand, Halloween 4, yeah, let's do
I
it.
know it's a thin line. It's
I
like
guess if the thing is though, if you're going to do it, the story has to evolve, and I think that's what makes the difference. If the
that's the
story doesn't
line.
evolve, like how many Toy Stories have they done? But each time it's something different
It's a
though.
different, yeah. They're not
And it
still
be
looking at Andy going to college,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that it went from like Andy being a kid all the way now to like a whole new like
a whole new
situation with a whole
kid.
nother
Yeah,
kid. It's like
right.
the story keeps going, and it's like it could go from horror movies to Disney Pixar movies. If the story evolves every single time, you got it.
Right.
That was my
But
issue with The Quiet Place too, because like the first one was amazing. The second one, it didn't evolve the story.
you didn't like it?
Dude, it didn't go
I
anywhere
enjoy
further.
it. It's weird you
No,
mentioned that.
it
Wait,
was
really quick before we talk about that, because I want to talk about that. I just wanted to say, God damn, and I just lost my point already that quick. All right, so Quiet Place 2. I I oh yeah, about the Matrix. It didn't I feel like the Matrix was written to be a trilogy. I feel like the story concluded itself. Like
yeah.
this was it was not but and that's why I feel weird about this because I feel like the story it gave you its grand closing, and then you just opened it back up and was like, oh no, we still got some crumbs left in here, let me give you those. So
Like
again, that's just why that feels weird
it's
to
like
me.
the
Like I
days
don't
of
know if
I think the only like there was one movie that kind of did that was like Days of Future Past with X-Men. And it's like when you sit there and then you send Logan back and he just does a whole bunch of shit that changes the future, like kind of rewrites it. It's like that's dope because now we don't know
yeah.
how everything changed because Scott Cyclops died in like Last Stand, but now he's alive just from
And
those
when you change
changes.
it, yeah,
And it's just like, dude, like
it,
what was different? And
it
that keeps
creates a
that
whole new
intrigue with you.
right.
But like for you to sit here and like you end it in a certain way and like I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's for that same reason. It's familiar. It's they put millions of dollars behind it, and it's kind of why we see The Rock in the same role over and over and over again. Like it's because it
The
works. It
Fast and
works.
Furious movies, as much
People are
as people
familiar with him, and they're
uh,
familiar with
Vin
seeing him on
Diesel
screen. Yeah,
fighting
they
what's
just
crazy? The
cars blowing up. It just works.
Fast and Furious, like as much as people like they have become like not I don't want to say corny, but they've become like just like
It's they make memes of it, so it's definitely kind of corny.
but they've evolved from like streetcar racing
Oh no,
to
for
this
sure.
to this shit, and it's just like wow.
That evolution is just a bit much though, because now they're in space.
Yeah, like you
They're
gotta
just catching rockets with their hands.
like you lost like your core audience who was just there for Paul Walker and the Evo, man.
Yeah, like it's not that street racing scene anymore. It's just so much
Like
going
it was
on.
cool like when it got to like five. The last one when he died, I was like, you could have just ended it right there and left it alone. But the fact that you kept doing more of them and it's just like you just want to do it bigger and better every time, it's like, fam, you just it's
Man.
getting corny now.
Entertainment is very costly, so I understand why these studios don't miss. They don't want to miss. Even
Mm-hmm.
with the TV shows, they reboot the same TV shows or they spin
Over
off
and over again.
shows
Like
because they know that you're familiar and it's more of a
Texas
chance you'll
Ranger got a
watch.
new one. It was Chuck Norris back in the day, and now they got it with Jared Padalecki from
Oh wow.
Supernatural, and I love the dude. Supernatural is one of my
Oh
top shows of all
nice.
time,
Because
and I'm
that just
like,
ended, right?
yeah,
Or a little while
yeah, it
ago.
just
That's
ended a
cool.
little
He
time
flipped
ago.
that into a new job quick.
Quick, and
He
I
ain't
want to
wasting
watch
no,
it to
he ain't
see if
missing
it's
no
good.
checks.
Nah, and Jensen Ackles is actually going to be on the third season of The Boys, so like they both got into
Oh,
certain.
I'm with the boys.
Oh, The Boys is fire.
The boys is lit. When I come back, we should do I've been saying we should do some sort of like review segment or review portion or even like a side clip just to review some stuff. I know I'm watching TV all in the house on YouTube
You know
all day,
what?
so
You know
that'd be
what's
cool.
crazy? I think we could do that for the YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I definitely want to set that up. I'm about to start a subscription for Wondershare so I can start editing and pumping out the videos. So as long as I get the audio, we could get some videos out there and then
Oh yeah,
go
we should
from
do that.
there.
No, we should do that.
Get the YouTube popping. Big plans, people. Episode 2 in the books.
Yep.
Whole lot going on. Fatherhood. Still in the pandemic, people. Protect yourself. Inform yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Shit is
Take care of
real.
yourself. Take care of your loved ones because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
For real, man. Every breath is precious. Every meal is important. Every
Yep.
drop of water. Smoke good, eat good, live good. It's your boy Russ.
It's your boy Kev.
I Hate It Here podcast. Check us out. And we are officially on the Apple Podcast app, which is
Finally.
exciting. I feel very official now. So leave some comments, hit us with the reviews.
Share it. Show your friends. I know there's like a million podcasts that you could listen to, but if you're listening to
Tell
us
me
right
about
now,
it.
thank you.
For real.
And
I listen
the
to about
biggest
a
help that
million
you could give
myself.
us, is just try to share with people and stuff because we really want to. As you see, like we took a week off, and like even though I was in the hospital, I was ready to record in there.
For real. I had to stop. I was like, man, if you want to just skip it, we could skip it. It's like, no, I'm gonna just wait for them to. I'm gonna wait for them to cut her open, and then she not gonna be looking. So we could record. I'm like, yo, chill out. We could. This will be here. Just family first, man. Family
Yeah, man.
first.
Nah,
So
we nah check work. I mean, Russ works hard on this shit. You know,
I'm with you, man.
like we both be working. He works hard. Like I'm happy to be doing this for him, especially after with the whole kid and whatnot. Like there's a lot of hard work, more work to be done, and I think we're gonna
Seriously, it
get
don't
there.
stop. It don't stop. We get to that next level. Even though I hate it here, I'm still striving every day. So
Yeah,
we'll go
man.
from there.